Yes, yes. What's going on, everybody? This is your man Martin Anaya, and I got Rosalind Santa Cruz. Rosalind, you look a little short here tonight. What do we got to do? We got to push you up. I thought we had you perfect. Hey, Roz, what's going on? How are you?
Good. I'm taking this heat in Sacramento today. So
yeah, well, I heard it's. We're going to ask our guest here in a minute. I heard it's pretty hot down in SoCal as well. I think that's where he's coming from tonight. And for those of you that are just tuned in, my name is Marty Anaya, and this is Rosalind Santa Cruz, in case you were wondering. And she and I are bringing to you The Breakdown. This is the show about all things film and filmmaking. I want to make a quick little note here before we get going. We have a very exciting guest with us here tonight. He is a Sacramento native. His name is Nick Leisure. His new film, which was shot partly in NorCal, partly in the Sacramento region, and also partly at Rosarito Studios down in Baja, which I believe may have been one of the last movies Roz shot down at Rosarito, because I think they've closed down now. We're going to talk to him about all these wonderful things. The movie is called Golden, and I couldn't be more excited about this. I know a lot of people in Sacramento, or I do believe a lot of people in Sacramento worked on it. Again, that's another question we'll ask Nick when he comes on. But what I think we should do real quick in the way of an introduction is just watch a little trailer for the movie and get people excited. So check this out. This, by the way, is opening. It's going to have its grand premiere as I'm taping this week, Thursday, and then it's going to be worldwide. We're going to talk about that with Nick. Check this out. It's called Golden.
Did you proof the flyers before you printed them, Frank?
Yes, I proofed the flyers.
A thorough proof or a Frank proof?
I'm out of here.
Why are you being secretive? The only times you are, it's bad. I thought those days were behind us.
Okay, well, I'd like to be someplace where I want to be.
Making it to 50 is a blessing. I'm gifting you the shop.
You want to do what I want for my birthday? Sell the store.
Go tacos and cheap tobacco. The stench gives you away, Rafael.
If I make you money, you follow my conditions. If you don't have the balls to play, don't play.
No mas.
Don't spend it in the States. What am I gonna spend it? Mexico.
Stupid. What's it? Okay. Lo siento.
How's the best flyer designer in town doing?
It's a pretty low bar. Oh, there's no us. I fly solo.
Yeah, great chat.
He's a tool.
Wow, man, that's pretty exciting, and I'm very excited about it. Roz, is there any way we can get you? I feel like I'm. There you go. Get up there. There we go. We got you. Hey, what did you think about that? Was that the first time you saw that?
I'm actually excited to watch it. It looks good.
Did that do the trick for you?
Yep. Well, I've been waiting for it for a while.
Well, yeah, no, of course. For how long? What, 2 years now?
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
It's been a minute, and I want to tell you, I'm excited about it too, because I remember when they shot over here at Sammy's. I was at Sammy's today on the Boulevard here in Sacramento, and I told him, I said, "Hey, man, this movie's getting ready to drop." But I tell you what, without further ado, what I'd like to do is bring on the film's director and writer, the auteur, the gentleman who made it happen, Mr. Nick Leisure. Oh, Nick.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
I got to tell you something, Nick. This movie looks fantastic, bro. And I know with movies, especially feature films, it's a process of hurry up and wait from concept to finish. How long have you been working on this particular film?
Man, we had this film finished about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So it's been done. You know, we ended up with a distributor that offered us an MG and they never paid it. So we had to pull it back from them and go with a new distributor. So that took a little bit of time. You know, it's part of the business.
No, 100%. And so how many, at least 2 years, you say?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years now.
But and I know that probably sounds like a long time for people at home that maybe are just casual viewers, or maybe there's a filmmaker out there, but they're kind of dipping their toe into the water. But for folks at home, I want you to know that's a pretty quick time turnaround for a lot of feature films. It'll be 5, 6, 7 years in the making if you think about it from concept to distribution. And by the way, speaking of distribution, this week, huh? We're going to drop a premiere this week.
Yeah, movie hits theaters on Friday, so we got a premiere on Thursday night. But yeah, it's been done for a while. I did 2 other movies after that, so you know I got.
Oh man, I want to talk about those.
Yeah.
You know, but first, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk a little bit about you, because some people, you know, we're here in Northern California. Some people know who you are up in Northern California, but I think a lot of times, a lot of our audience, man, they come, you know, there'll be the people that come into the scene and looking at the local films and the stuff that's going on up here, and then they'll drop out, or new people come in. There's always those bumper crock by 18-year-olds. Tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind. I know that were you born in Sacramento? Where were you born?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Sacramento. I lived there majority of my life. You know, I lived in Los Angeles 3 times. I lived in San Francisco for a couple of years, and then I currently live in Orange County. I've been here for since last year. Yeah.
And good times down there in Orange County, man. We were just talking about that weather. What's that weather doing for you today?
And Orange County is 300 plus days a year, beautiful weather, man. You know, we can't beat it, right? We got clean air out here. It's not, people that don't ever come to Orange County or don't live here always think Orange County is LA, and it's completely
no. Well, and are you more on the coast, or are you more inland? Because I know Dana Point and Laguna and all those areas.
Yeah, I'm close to Laguna Beach, so I'm 7 minutes to the beach. You know, and I can hop on the highway, be in LA with no traffic, you know, hour and 20 minutes. But, you know, usually if there's some traffic, it'll take me a couple hours.
But as a kid, okay, Sac people, don't get jealous. But as a kid that grew up in Sacramento, I'm just curious how that might have informed your storytelling, how that informed you as a filmmaker.
I mean, most of my stories as a filmmaker came from Sacramento, right? So you look at A Clear Shot, that was a Sacramento story. Look at what I did with Last of the Night, we filmed that in Sacramento, and that was actually inspired by a Sacramento story. Even this movie, Golden, that we're talking about now, was inspired from somebody from Sacramento.
Yeah. I can see where, you know, our upbringing does kind of like really influence us. And it makes us the people that we are, and in your case, the storyteller that you are. How long have you been into screenwriting? I know you write pretty much most of your films, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been writing for a long time, man. I was writing back when we were writing stuff with no budget, so it's been over 20 years now. Yeah,
that's a long time, man. And I'll tell you what, if there's any kind of tips that you have or stuff that you want to kind of spread around to us, because a lot of our audience here are filmmakers. We're all ears. I know Roz has some questions too. What are you thinking, Roz?
Just curious about the film. We know that Bryan Austin Green is one of your star. He's your star of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just curious how that how it is to work with him, and how that relationship came about, and just curious about all that.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, he came up here to Sacramento, and he was just a sweetheart. So I can see why you guys became friends. But how did it happen? Yeah.
You know, Bryan and I worked on Last Night, another movie I did out there years ago. So we just, hit it off from the start, and we talked on the phone for probably an hour, but the first 9-10 minutes were about a movie, and the rest was about family and friends and people we knew and all that type of stuff. And so we became like bros, and ended up, we're still really good friends. We don't do all of our projects together, but I'm always looking at Bryan for leading roles when it comes to projects that I'm doing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll tell you what, and what a sweetheart. I can imagine he must be an easy guy to work with. Speaking of, we know that you wrote the script, and I also know that you have a reputation for being an actor's director, wherein you really get close to the actors. How would you describe that process in terms of, maybe if somebody's out there, a director, directors are always looking in their viewfinder and they're always checking all the technical stuff and the lights. But how do you work with actors in a way that is going to honor what they do, what they bring to the table?
Well, Marty, I started a long time ago, a couple decades ago, with Charlie Holiday in Sacramento. So I was doing a lot of classes with Charlie. I did acting classes. I worked with Jack Lynn, Pasadena Playhouse, did some Shakespeare, started my career doing some acting on some independent films and things like that. And so I think, even though I became a director, having those few years of doing the acting and working with Charlie and all those guys the great people out there, just really showed me what I needed to do as far as a director working with actors. Yeah. So it's not about just going to set and telling them what to do. Like, you got to really dive into the characters and work with them.
No, 100%. And when you said Charlie Holiday, for me, that answered everything. For those of you that don't know, I mean, Charlie's been passed away a couple of years now, but Charlie was an amazing actor. He'd been in over 100 movies, and he was the impresario of our acting program at the California Film Foundation. So once you said Charlie, it just clicked for me, because he's so good working with people. So I can see where that had major impact on you. And I would say, I don't know who the next, who the Charlies are that are out there now, but definitely if you are a filmmaker watching, you want to get a good coach, because that's going to inform you with what you do. Nick, I got a bunch of other questions for you. I want to tell folks at home real fast that we are currently accepting submissions to the Sacramento Film Festival for our 2026. If you're watching us live here or live-ish here in late March, our very first deadline, our flash forward deadline, is on the 26th next week. So you want to get your movie into that. We're going to be right back right after this message with more Nick Leisure and the amazing movie, his brand new movie that drops this week. It's called Golden. Stay right there. All right, folks, we are back, and we are talking to Mr. Nick Leisure. His new movie, Golden, drops in theaters on Friday, and Nick is going to be premiering the movie in L.A. this week. I'm pretty sure that that's sold out, but I can tell you right now, that's not going to stop me and Roz from being there, right, Roz? We're going to be in there like swimwear, aren't we?
Yeah, come through.
We're coming, yeah.
Nick don't care if I show up, but I think Roz, if you show up, then he might let me in. So let's make sure that we're both there.
Yeah, come through, have a good time. There's going to be a lot of people there. All the cast will be there. There's going to be a lot of other recognizable actors that you'll know, like legends in Hollywood. So
wow. Well, and we'll be doing, and so for those of you at home who want to follow Nick's career, we're going to be doing some stand-ups there. Might even be able to get Roz on the microphone. We'll see if that happens. See if she can do a couple of interviews. But I know she has some more questions for you right now. And again, if you're just tuning in, once again, it's Mr. Nick Leisure. His new film is Golden. Roz, what do you got for Nick?
Well, you mentioned, Martin, earlier about filmmakers that are up and coming. So, Nick, if you were approached by a filmmaker that is deciding on going to film school, and they came to you and asked you where they should go, what would you tell them?
I get that all the time.
I bet you do.
I think film school, I'm not going to say anything bad about film school, but I think any way that you can get experience, whether it's being on set or going to film school, do something. You know what I mean? And start creating movies. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions that I even had when I was a young filmmaker was we all think we have a great movie idea, and if we can just get it in the can and make it, all of a sudden Hollywood is going to discover us and we're going to be the next Scorsese or something. And that is not the case, especially in this day and age. This is very much the case of like, even as a filmmaker, you need to keep throwing shit on the wall over and over and over. Like I mentioned, I got 2 other movies after this that I've already finished. One's dropping in July. The other one's going to Cannes. And then I did a partnership with Kevin Scott Frake's EP of like John Wick and all M. Night's movies and over 50 blockbuster movies. And we got a slate of about 20 films that we're working on over the next 3 to 5 years right now. So it's a game of just throwing a lot of stuff out there, like, and keep doing it, because this business will forget about you a week after you drop your movie.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, and also I can see where just staying sharp, man. If you go 2 or 3 years between projects, you're going to get rusty just like anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be creating, you got to be making movies, and that's the game. Is you got to continually make movies. You know, this isn't a one and done thing. This isn't like I'm making one movie and then all of a sudden I'm huge in Hollywood. It's not going to happen.
It don't work like that. You know what? Speaking of that, that idea of of success and getting successful, I know everybody has, you know, the kind of the idea of what it must mean. But for you, what does that mean? Let's just say in 20 years from now, right? If you're looking back, and I'm sure you'll still be a fairly young man in 20 years from now. I'm sure you'll still be making movies. But let's assume that you're climbing that ladder right now, and I see you, man. I see you putting in the work. But what do you hope at one point or another, maybe 20, 30 years down the line, what do you hope that your legacy will be?
I hope to be able to just keep telling stories that people can resonate with, you know? I was joking around with Mario Lopez last week when we did Access Daily at Access Hollywood, and yeah, actually ended up being one of the last shows on there because they just canceled it.
They canceled Access Hollywood. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm joking with him because he kind of asked me, you know, what was the point that you felt like you actually made it as a director in Hollywood? And I said, I haven't yet because I'm not on drugs. I'm not in rehab. You know, so,
that's how you know you arrived. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just working, man. Like I get to wake up every single day, and I don't take it for granted. I've been doing this for, you know, over 25 years now, Marty. You know me a long time, so you've seen me go from doing short films, putting them into your festival, and winning awards, to feature films for no budgets, to some budgets, to bigger budgets, to now you know, now my budgets are going, you know, $9-10 million budgets. So it's a process that doesn't happen overnight. It's continually throwing shit at the wall until something sticks. And you know, I think that's what any filmmaker needs to do. And I think that anybody out of Sacramento, there's a lot of fucking talent. Oops, sorry, I can't say that on there. But
no, we're good. We're not on broadcast. It's all good, man.
So there's a lot of talent in Sacramento, you know, and I feel like Sacramento is a breeding ground for extremely great talent. Like a lot of my friends are in Los Angeles and SoCal here, you know, whether it's music or film, they're at the top of their game. I've had a couple friends that just got their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and they're from Sacramento. You know, huge. And I feel like you just have to really dial in your talent, focus on that, and don't let anybody tell you can't do it. Just keep doing it, but make sure you're doing stuff. Like, don't sit around and wait on anybody else. Don't sit around and say, I don't have a budget, so I can't make anything. Like, make some shit and keep making shit. Even if you have no budget, keep making shit until people start to pay attention to you, and you'll get a little budget, then you'll get a bigger budget. And because that's the momentum you have to have. You know, eventually the first camera I ever bought is sitting back here in my case. Like, it's a little mini DV camera that I was shooting stuff in Sacramento with, you know, and I bought it with like, I think it was like $400 or $500, and I started shooting movies on it. You know, now I don't even own a film camera anymore because everything comes from the rental houses. Right. So I think you just gotta keep doing stuff, and you gotta tell yourself, this is what I'm going to do with my life. And that's it. There is no, well, if it doesn't work out for me, I'm going to go work for the state. Or, you know, whatever. And I'm not knocking anybody that, you know, goes that route. But if you want to be a filmmaker, it's like if you want to be a professional athlete and you want to play basketball and be you're going to be shooting hoops every single day, and you need to be working on that. It's the same thing with film. You can't do this like once every 2-3 months with your homies and like go, well, let's make a movie together. And
Yeah.
here you get together and shoot something. You got to be doing this every single day.
And also, just to add to that, I think the problem that we find, and it's not just Sacramento, it's everywhere, where somebody will make something and then they just think it's the best thing ever. And, they go and put it in some, little Rudy Poot film festivals or whatever, and they get handed a participation trophy or whatever. And it's like they think they've arrived. And it's like, no, you got to keep working and keep getting better, and don't let, because your mom likes it, right? Your mom's going to like anything you did, right? And your friends and the people in your little insular circle, you got to keep pushing up the food chain.
Really when people that you don't know like it. It's everybody that knows you, your friends,
that's the key.
Followers now that say they love it. I don't pay attention to those people. I appreciate you guys, but like what I really pay attention to is the people that don't know me, and they go, I saw your movie, like, and I love it.
Right. Or didn't come because they were part of the little, the same little film group or whatever, and we're all just gonna blow smoke up each other's skirts. Yeah. Raj, you got a good question there.
Yeah. So every filmmaker, with films, their film that they create, like a film is their baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about this film is special to you?
This film was extremely special to me because I actually shot a documentary on the real person that this film was about, probably 15 years before I shot this movie, and we never released the documentary. He passed away, but it was a true life story about a friend of mine who his father owned a print shop and was printing counterfeit money and taking it to Mexico. Had a print shop in Stockton and lived in Sacramento, and so it was inspired by a true story. It's not exactly his story, but it was inspired by his story. And so, I think that was the biggest thing for me, is I knew at some point I wanted to turn this into a movie.
Yeah. No, I know you do that a lot too, is inspired by true events. I'm still waiting for that Dorothea Puente film. Maybe you'll bring that out anytime.
We're probably looking at beginning of next year to shoot that realistically, because we were shooting for the end of this year. We've got the Alchemist movie that's been greenlit by Netflix already. We've got Hereditary 2. Ari Aster's directing that. We're producing it. I've got to kind of space some things out, but Dorothea's, it's going to be a huge one. I've got Kevin Scott Frakes writing it with me. He's mainly writing it. I'm just kind of bouncing ideas back and forth with him. And I wrote Hereditary. Hereditary was top 5 scariest movie of all time. So it's incredible. And we got some pretty big names behind it too. I'm not going to announce them yet, but
okay. And by the way, folks at home, you youngsters, if you don't know who Dorothea Puente is, go Google that name. You'll get, this is a fascinating story, and it's scary, and it's right out of Sacramento. So I'm looking forward to that one, Nick. I have another one for you in terms of this particular movie, Golden. Obviously, we know Bryan Austin Green. Beverly Hills 90210, of course, is his big claim to fame. But I think as a wonderful actor, he's just absolutely underrated. I'm really excited to see him. I saw him in Last Night, your film again. He was fantastic. Who else do we need to be looking out for in this movie that's been getting ready to drop Golden?
Legends. You got Robert Miano, Donnie Brasco, Pacino's freaking boss, and he's been a legend in Hollywood for, 40, 50 years at least now, because Robert's up there now in his 80s. You got Glenn Plummer, who Glenn's in almost every one of my movies, and everybody knows Glenn from everything. OG Bobby Johnson. You got Mozzie Ferlin from Jumanji and Batman, and so we got some pretty heavy hitters in this one. It's a great movie. The chemistry was great between everybody, and then we got some people like Elena Sevastakova. She was a huge Russian tennis star and became an actress. And Josh Gilmer's an incredible actor. Everybody's going to bring it to the screen.
I got to be honest with you, bro. I'm always impressed, man, whenever I see your cast. And it's always something where, you throw us a curveball and it was like, wow, I didn't, and it's like Maz, when I was like, wow, Mozzie Ferlin. That's right, man. He's been, and if you go Google that name, then you're going to be like, that's where I've seen him. He's been in so many amazing films.
That dude is in everything. He's in that I don't even remember the name of that Jamie Foxx like vampire movie. He was the guy that sank in the quicksand and all that. And he's every time I turn around, he's in something, or I turn the TV on, he's in something. It's like, and he's super cool. Like Mozzie's a good friend of mine.
And that's the other thing. They're good people too. On top of it, they're not like Hollywood assholes. Like you, I've met a lot of Hollywood assholes, and I've never met one on one of your sets. I'll tell you that.
It's crazy. I talked about this the other day on another show, and we always talk about it's usually like the less seasoned actors that haven't done very much are the assholes. And then there's some big actors that are assholes too, but most of the ones I've worked with are very humble.
Yeah. No, and same thing with the crew. It's somebody who's got a real shallow ego. That is the one that starts all the BS. It's not the guy that's been doing it for 30 years, man. He's there to make it happen and make life easier for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, Roz, we got maybe time for one more. Give me a good one, because this man's time is very very fleeting, and we got to get him out of here so we can get on to his big premiere. Mr. Nick Leisure doing that big premiere this Thursday in LA for Golden. What do you got, Roz?
Well, considering that you mentioned that it's premiering this, or we have the premiere coming up, where can we find it after that? Where can we see this film?
So it comes on Thursday night. Friday it hits theaters. So it's going to be in like AMC theaters all across the country on Friday.
Will we be able to see it up in Northern California?
I think the closest place in Northern California is going to be in the Bay Area.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there. You know me, man. I got my day job in NorCal. So
AMC's out there, like theaters and stuff, but I don't think SAC has any over there in Sacramento. But yeah, it'll be all over the place, and then it hits streaming pretty fast after that. It'll be on streaming. You can get it on Apple TV. You can get it on Amazon. Streaming platforms are going to hit probably within 2 to 3 days after the theaters. It's kind of how the business is now with any movie, right? So unless you're a $200-300 million movie that they wanted to sit there for a month, but yeah, it'll be out there.
folks, the movie is called Golden. Bryan Austin Green. I haven't, other than the fact that I was there on Del Paso when you were shooting over at Sammy's in the diner there. Mm-hmm. But as far as anything, on celluloid that you've actually produced, the only thing I've seen from this movie is this trailer, but the trailer makes me really excited. Can't wait. Mm-hmm. And for those of you at home that can't see it on the premiere, or if it isn't playing close enough to you in a theater, close enough. And by the way, I'll be honest with you, getting any kind of theatrical distribution these days is not easy to do. Most people don't want to do it, but soon enough it'll be on streaming. Can't wait. Nick, I just want to thank you for being here. And any final words of wisdom you want to leave with our folks at home, maybe the filmmakers, and maybe just the audiences that want to go see a good movie, man?
Well, I think because you have a big audience in Sacramento, I would say, because I get a lot of DMs from guys in Sacramento asking about how to become a filmmaker. And I think, like I said earlier, just really, really focus on your craft, push it. Eventually you're going to have to branch out from Sacramento and do some bigger stuff around. It's a breeding ground. It's a good place to call home, but you're going to have to work with the rest of the world. And so, just stay at it. Just stay at it if that's what you want to do. But don't think it's going to be easy, and don't think it's going to happen overnight. No, and don't take the short route, I would say. Mm-hmm. Nick Leisure, man, you've been a solid friend and a supporter of our film festival, and I'm just so tickled to see you doing your thing, making it happen. On behalf of Rosalind, I know I speak for Roz and our entire organization when I say thank you, and good luck with this movie. It looks freaking dynamite, man, and can't wait to see you Thursday down in LA. Yeah, I'll see you guys down here Thursday.
All right. Thank you.
Take it easy.
All right, everybody, you've been watching The Breakdown. This is Martin and I, Rosalind, and for Nick Leisure, we'll see you on the next one.